Now, I bought the Splatoon 2 edition of Nintendo Switch, so it comes with the game Splatoon 2. When you open the product, you actually see that it has some kind of quick start guide to help you learn how to use your Nintendo Switch. Inside, there was supposed to be all the accessories, but I took them out. This is the Switch itself. It has a kickstand at the bottom where you can insert a SD card. It says SD card over there. It has some fans, this whole thing over here. It has a USB Type-C cable for charging, this other hole, and this other hole for Phillips screwdriver screws, RBR code thing. It also has a headphone jack, a game card slot for game cards, along with a fan on the top. Obviously, it has to have a volume rocker, which is actually, this is a fun fact, this is actually the first Nintendo console without a volume slider. This is a volume rocker. And it has a power button here, and if you turn it on, Nintendo. It's a Nintendo Switch. Yeah. These are the Joy-Con controllers. They're obviously both different from each other. The left one has the stick at the top, and the right one has the stick at the bottom. The right one also has a special IR sensor over here, along with the home button, the control stick down, the A, B, X, and Y buttons, the plus button, and also exclusive to it is amiibo functionality. So I could put an amiibo, like for example, dog amiibo exclusive to Alessandro, on it, and magic, it works in the game. The left one obviously is different to the right one because it doesn't have any amiibo functionality at all. It's just a controller. They both have ZR, R, and L and ZL buttons at the back, and they obviously all have to have the remove button to take them off the main console. Talking about the main console, I mean, look at it. It looks amazing. You can switch the controllers and do multiple things with them. Like for example, I can take this controller and there's buttons here that I can press, and I can use it as a singular controller, or I could get the other controller and use both of them. Talking about the accessories, here they are. This is the Joy-Con grip. So if I get the two Joy-Cons, I can actually place them on this and use it as similar to an Xbox controller. Here, you have the Joy-Con straps. People have been getting problems of it being extremely hard to put these on. And if you get them on the wrong way, you can get them stuck. I haven't been getting any stuck problems, but I have been getting problems where it's extremely hard to get them off. They require so much force. This is the Nintendo Switch's dock. I have a HDMI and a power cable connected to it, so it actually works. There's also a nice green light over here, but it's not lit up because I still need to put the Switch inside. Here's the Switch, and to put it in is extremely easy. You just need to slide it in. And the light should go on if I press the power button. There you go. The light should go on now. There it goes. And eventually, if the Switch decides to, there it is. The light goes on, and on the TV, you see the Nintendo Switch eventually appears. This is taking quite some time. Why isn't this working? Nintendo Switch, is this your fault? No, it seems to be working. Let me put it back in. And the green, there it is. The Nintendo Switch is now working. Behind the dock is where you'll find all the cables and stuff. There's not that many USB cables, but there is a HDMI and AC adapter cable, which obviously uses USB Type-C. Now, I was surprised to know that the charger you use for when the Nintendo Switch is in portable mode is actually the same AC adapter that you use for the dock. I know, quite surprising. The dock obviously has to have holes to let the Nintendo Switch fans work, and they're located here at the bottom. You can see the hole right there. Now, I was wondering, how does the Nintendo Switch work when you want to connect LAN to it? Now, that's just, you use a USB LAN adapter you can buy separately or buy it from third parties to connect it to LAN. And I'm not going to do that because the Nintendo Switch, I'm not really planning to keep it in one place all the time, especially the dock. Now, I was quite surprised to how this works. I expected it to just be a USB Type-C cable at the bottom, but believe it or not, there's actually a sliding bit, so the USB Type-C cable isn't actually sticking out all the time, so the Nintendo Switch can actually get in. Now, fun fact, there's 2 bumps in the sliding thing because there's 2 holes at the bottom of the Nintendo Switch, so when you put it in, instead of actually just sticking to the USB Type-C cable directly, it actually slides down like that. And then eventually, the green light turns on, and it connects to the TV. People say that the kickstand is extremely flimsy. I mean, its placing is quite strange, because sometimes you're not on the smoothest surface ever, and it just goes like this. It just falls to the ground. Or sometimes people get it off. It comes off. Luckily, it's extremely easy to get it back on, obviously. Otherwise, probably would have had a lot of people turning back their Switches. One of the first questions I had when I bought a Nintendo Switch was, if I get the Nintendo Switch and put the kickstand out and use it as a sort of screen, could I use the Joy-Con grip to control it? It turns out you can actually do that, but I didn't find out by actually doing it. I looked on the Italian website,